So we've got our side seams here, so this is the sleeve, and we're folding the two side seams down so they match. Our back shirt is longer than our front shirt, so what we're going to do is we're just going to match up those notches there. So this will be hanging down, but that's fine. We can put a pin in there. Actually, not that pin. Pin in there to hold that together. We can also put a pin in the underarm. So there's our dart underarm seam matching with the front with the back. Just putting that in there, so that matches. And I don't think we need, oh god, we need to put one there because we won't get lost between there and there. So this is a 2 centimetre, because this split is a 2 centimetre double roll, we need to sew 2 centimetres from this raw edge to where the stitching starts. So remember our 3/4 line, actually this one here, is 2 centimetres. So if we match our raw edge up with that line there and come in from where the notch is, it's going to be our starting point. So we'll just do a little back tack there, and from that point we go from 2 centimetre seam allowance to a 1 centimetre seam allowance here. So just aim towards that.
That look easy.
Good experience there, Libby.
Do your best.
Yes, use whatever you have.
Yeah.
You need a tape measure or pin it or whatever. My microphone's gone. And then we're just going to match up these two finished edges. So that's the underarm seam on your sleeve. Okay, so that's our side seam done on this side. Now we've got these bits hanging here, so we're just going to chop them off, this overlocking, and you can then go, if you want to, and press the seam open at this point. But what I'm going to do is, well, whether it's pressed open or not, we're just going to move, tuck these overlocking bits behind the seam allowance and open up that seam. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the edge of the foot on the actual seam, and we're just going to stitch up. So we've stitched from the folded edge here up to the top of the cuff, so you can see on the inside there. So that holds that seam allowance back, and it also hides the overlocking underneath the flap as well. And we'll just do that on the other side too. Now this isn't something you would necessarily do on a cuff that had on a sleeve that had a turn up like this, but because we've got a split, I didn't want to have this section of the split open, because this has to open up, so it meant that we'd have to overlock these two bits separately and then from here overlock them together. So I've just kept, because it's quite a short side seam, I've just kept it open all the way down, and that's why we've overlocked the side seam separately.
Yeah, so just a decision to have an open seam allowance instead of a closed one.
Yeah, exactly. So now we'll just do our split here. So what we want to do, we've got a 2 centimetre split, so we're going to fold it in one and then fold it in one again. And we want that double roll to go to the top of the split. And you can see here we're going to stitch this in place from the top of the split, from the hem up to the split here, and we're going to go across. And this, see where the way that we've overlocked it, that overlocking just sort of like turns and tucks underneath. So it's going to be held out of the way. So we're going to go up, and then we're going to go across at the top of the split, and then down the other side. If you want to, you can press this in place before you start sewing. It's up to you. You'll notice too that I did a little back tack at the top of the split as well, just to give it a little bit of extra support. Okay, so there's our split done. I'm just going to trim the threads. And that's our split on the outside.